be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And today, my guest is Matt Haven, and we're going to be talking about Dr. Robert O. Young, and I'm dedicating this show to him, and I want you to know the story behind this. And Matt is going to tell us that. So let me bring him on. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Gail. Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. I'm going to switch places with you. There we go. You are a close friend of Dr. Robert O. Young and have worked with him, and I consider him a friend and a colleague as well. And he's undergoing some very serious issues right now that have me very concerned, and that is the main reason why I'm having this show. It's dedicated for him and to let people know what's happening in healthcare with natural health.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're dealing with the case that has a huge element of lawfare to it, and it's really exposing the troubles that we are facing in our society, especially in America. We see that whatever we want to call this deep state or the controllers or the people who want to create some pecking order or whatever, these people, their system is designed to recognize truth as the threat. And with Dr. Robert Young, anybody that takes the time to research into what he has done in his career, he has rejuvenated the truth in what's called pleomorphic biology. And that is a beautiful physical understanding of quantum physics. And what it shows is how our body actually heals itself, the processes that it goes so that it can be at its highest version and make its way back to homeostasis. He's been very vocal about that. He was also the original person who realized the correlation between monitoring our pH balance, and having an alkalizing lifestyle and dietary choices, and the benefits that it led. And that's what we've seen when we've seen athletes like Tom Brady, LeBron James, Serena Williams, this huge new wave, Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, Djokovic, the tennis player. These are people that incorporated and worked with him on how to be healthy. And then there's Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Hudson, all these professional people too. Dr. Robert Young was one of our most beloved, deservedly so, and greatest humanitarians of our time. What a lot of people don't realize about him is that he is exponentially by far our greatest published scientist of our time. He is our real Nikola Tesla of our time. He's our real Royal Rife of our time. He is published in medical and scientific articles that he publishes in India because America's bought and paid for rigged medical journal system won't publish his cancer healing, cancer curing, human biofield, all these beautiful, amazing things. And so we have a man who has been fearless about teaching people how to be empowered with their health. And what led him to be targeted in one of the biggest lawfare cases ever is that in about 2008, he went on the Oprah Winfrey Show One of his patients at the time, whose name was Kim Tinkman, Tinkham, she went on there. There was a show with Oprah Winfrey with 5 breast cancer patients. 4 of those 5 went to go do chemo and radiation. They died within 6 months. Kim Tinkman went into full remission of breast cancer. Unfortunately, took her new lease on life and started becoming a real bad alcoholic and died 2.5 years later of liver cancer. But that kind of started putting him in the light because Robert Young did at that same moment a 280 people cancer study, a first and only of its kind, all stage 3 and stage 4 cancer patients. 80 of these people were terminally ill. He went to publish this in an American journal. At the time, Robert was still ignorant to the fact that there was a system that wasn't really wanting what he had to give him. And that put him further in the limelight. Fast forward to 2013, he had met with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama 2 different times, and they would talk about Obamacare and how they can incorporate some things. Robert Young's told me that he felt very placated during those times. And right before I move forward, just so everybody knows the relationship I have with Dr. Robert Young, I was involved with studies with my company that was the first and only of its kind where we were testing the levels of things like graphene oxide and hydrogel, components of this mRNA delivery system, as well as things like microplastics and heavy metals. And there was no benevolent expert out there that had experience that could guide us as we were in over our head, finding out things that no one else had found out. And Robert Young, I reached out to him with the wisdom of a couple of my colleagues. And that's really how I met the gentleman and became dear friends. He is my mentor, my best friend. I'm blessed to get to talk to him, and still to this day, every day. And so I want to get back to our story. He had started getting close to people like Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama.
Not good people.
These are people that if you take their biggest gift, their best ability, it is in recognizing threats, which again is the truth. Okay, so when they recognize, because the truth will set a people free. If people perish due to lack of knowledge, and so when someone is teaching pleomorphic biology on a level where people can understand it, and at the same time teaching people how to be empowered with the highest level of health that they're capable of, and this guy, he was vocal about it, and he just wanted to help the world. That's a very big threat to our system of controllers. And so he was flown out in January, I believe, of 2013. Get this. He was flown out in the private jet for CNN to New York. He was supposed to do a simultaneous broadcast with Michelle Obama. And she was going to be Michael Obama. She was supposed to be showing everybody her new organic garden at the White House. And at the same time, Robert Young was going to be announcing the cure for cancer on CNN. So he was in the limousine. This is a story I'm parroting from you because I've gotten it word for word from Robert so that it will not be inaccurate. He was in the limousine on the way to the studio 30 minutes before the broadcast, and he got a call from the producer saying they were not going to do the show. He said, "What do you?" And he finally talked to producer and he said, "Our biggest backers, our biggest funders, have called us and said, if you announce the cure for cancer, we're pulling all of our funding."
Unbelievable.
And so at that point, 6 months later, 2 helicopters of federal agents, 2 squad teams of FBI agents, along with the sheriff's department, came down on his ranch, identical in every way. I'm not a political person. I don't like to get into political of anything because I don't like any politics. I think they're all different heads of the
Crooked.
same snake. I think they're all way
Exactly.
before they get there. They've already sold, screwed kids, and long story. So I don't believe politicians are going to save any of us. But I understand some people can. I love everybody's beliefs, and we're all on a journey of knowledge. So whatever. Now, much like they took down the Mar-a-Lago Trump place, now Trump is not, I'm not saying he's a good guy. What I'm saying is he's not the only bad guy team, and maybe the other team was trying to kind of do what they could, and they didn't arrest anybody, which is identical to when they did Robert Young's ranch. Who brings 2 squads of FBI agents, helicopters coming down with no arrest warrants just to gather up stuff? And then, so we know that after he started
totally
getting too
unlawful.
close, yes, it is. It's absolutely it's everything wrong. There has not been one proper ethical there's not been anything right about this case. This is a targeted case that has, at this point, drawn the attention of the highest level private investigators that are retrieving every type of record, public record, and more related to all the people involved in this targeting case against Dr. Robert Young. And so far, everywhere they're looking, we're finding very unusual information that I'm sure won't be able to be explained, and they'll just try to sit there and say the fifth. But what we're witnessing is a case where they had the only 2 different, the same district attorney's office with the same prosecuting attorney and the same investigator is doing the same type of case twice. The first time they took his entire ranch, took everything, discredited him, character assassinated him, incarcerated him, and now they're trying to put him in prison for what could be the rest of his life, all over a deep, close. Dr. Robert Young has a very strong religious faith with Latter-day Saints. His great-great-grandpa was Brigham Young University, BYU, Utah.
Yeah,
So this woman was another Latter-day Saints, which, there's not a lot of them, so they're going to be close, and was friends with him. Friends for 50 years, not a patient. Someone who texted him all the time, bugging him at all the wrong hours, asking him all types of silly personal questions. And she forced herself. Now, listen, guys, listen. This case, the exact case we're talking about today, I know I gave you a lot of background, but this case started in 2021. A lifelong friend pushed herself to come down to see him. He had no longer had his ranch. He was no longer seeing patients. She was a plant. She came down. She had had liver problems her whole life, and she still is alive today. This entire case, there's Brady violations all through it that show text messaging and emails showing complete collusion between the assistant district attorney, Gina Darvis, the investigator of the crime, Michael S. Brown. You have the assistant district attorney's paralegal and the alleged victim's daughter, all talking about their case, how we're going to build it. Oh, this one person's testimony hurt us bad. We'll just get rid of that. Oh, we're going to do this. The entire thing, it's evil. It's evil because this is what they did. If anybody here doesn't know Robert Young, let me just make it clear to you. He's the most authentic, kindest. He is what every man should strive to be. Okay? It's that simple. Anybody that's met the guy would have that opinion.
Yep.
Everywhere they looked for a 3.5-year investigation, everywhere they looked, they seen where this man was innocent. He never, ever would portray himself to be a medical doctor. When he made his career, he taught people against the medical system. He was wanting to be the complete opposite of a medical doctor. He taught preventative care, not diagnose and, prescribe you
He
pills,
was a
not surgery.
nutritionist,
He was a
largely.
nutritionist. Yes,
That
he
was my
taught
link
you.
with him. I
Yeah,
learned a great deal from him as a result of my.
us and millions. You
I
and millions. Me and millions of
I had
people.
him on 4 or 5 shows too.
Yes.
Everybody learned so much when he was on,
Yes, yes,
and
and he loved to explain and tell the truth, and it was impossible not to enjoy listening to learning it.
exactly. So right
Yeah,
now, though, they have him. He's in jail. Isn't that correct?
yeah, he's been convicted in a sham trial, completely weaponized. I was there for every day of the trial, me and another gentleman, and uh, it was a perfect orchestration of probably the most rigged arm of our industrial complex, which is our judicial system, unfortunately. And this was we're seeing where money's coming down from the top down in huge payments. We're seeing how the case started through how it really, where he caught light. And it was really when he when he was the doctor of the only woman who lived on the Oprah Winfrey show, and then he started seeing Barack and Michelle Obama in the White House a couple times, and then when he went to go on that CNN show, he had tripped the red flag trigger with enough times that they set it into motion to take him out, and they have not stopped. And
That's sad. That's sad. Somebody doing
yeah,
something wonderful for humanity, and they get targeted and they go after them. And
yeah,
the reason I want people to know this, we have to stand up for these people. We can't just let them do this. And uh, the man had ways of healing people naturally. And see, that's what they don't want. It's all prescription medicine, and medical doctors are jealous of him because of so much that he's done. That's my opinion. Um,
absolutely.
and
He messes up the apple cart for everybody, right? Because if you're healthier, okay, what I worked on with him is the antidote to the depopulation agenda. The product that he is the final formulator for, and is the most important product that every single person can be taking right now, is MasterPeace. How do we know that? Because any level of testing that is possible of doing, blood testing, intracellular blood testing, hair testing, urine testing, all types of we've done it all. We know and Robert Young has been very avid that this is the antidote, because the plan to keep us mentally and physically neutered is through poisoning us. We know that. It's through poisoning us with chemical poisons through the land, air, water, and everywhere they can, and through the radiation poisoning. The synergistic effect of those two keep us exactly acting the way we are. Okay? So that they can take over. MasterPeace removes those poisons. It's a broad spectrum antidote. He has been very vocal from before COVID even started, before the lockdown started. The moment they announced this pandemic, he was very loud and very vocal about, hey, there's never been a virus isolated. Before we start just saying there's a new virus spreading around the world, let's at least get some pictures and observations of it, real scientific quantifiable proof. And they don't want a guy with his level of intelligence and his fearlessness and incorruptibleness doing that, being loud, getting vocal. And so this case started 3 months after the whole COVID started. They were right in motion again to take him down. Now he's facing up to 7 years or more for an alleged victim that was never her cross-examination testimony was never put into court.
Why not?
There is, because they had the attorneys stand. Well, if a judge said don't allow the testimony in, then that would be too easy of an appeal. So in this case, they had his attorney not put it in, and he said, "Oh, it could hurt us." That was the most collusive case. He's being investigated, as he should be, because
They all
he
should be
did
investigated,
several of
and
these.
they
Are.
they may
They
end
are.
up in a
With the
tribunal.
highest security clearance,
Yeah.
with the highest security clearance. See, private investigators are usually ex-investigators, and they have security clearances, so they can get like anybody's cell phone number, anybody, but they can get random, all public information a lot easier than anybody else can. Every last thing we can find is being looked at, because this is an abomination to humanity. This is an embarrassment. If anybody thinks that we have a judicial system that isn't 100% corrupt, I mean, this is to take the most innocent man that has really lived to help people. He's lived and breathed to help people, and to focus this amount of evil in taking him out. If we don't stand up for this kind of guy, listen, I'm a good guy. Nobody's going to be standing me up for me the way they should be standing up for him.
That's
Gail,
what scares me.
yeah,
People need
yeah,
to do this. They're not doing it as much as they need to. We need to get behind people like this. It's very important. You need
they're
to find
falling.
Exactly.
Mary Blakely. We have major science experts right now, all natural health practitioners, hundreds of them locked up in jails right now, facing huge amounts of prison time from Lawfare just to silence them and get rid of them. There's no concern about what's right. This is a Marxist. This is a terrible takeover we are seeing in America. And the men, you're all scared. I talk to a lot of podcasters and stuff, and I show them the proof of the transcriptions in the court case. I show them all this stuff, and y'all don't want to talk. I'm going to tell you what, right now, there's no corner to hide from, and there's not going to be a better time to brace than now. And so if we are not going to brace, then get ready, because your kids and all the people you care about are next, and there won't be anybody there to stand with you.
Exactly. That's what is that one saying? First they came for so-and-so and I did nothing. Then they came for somebody else and I wasn't one of them, so I did nothing. So I did, and it on and on and on and on. And then finally they came for me and there was no one left to stand for me.
That's right.
And that's what it's coming to. That's
better
what
believe
it's
it.
to.
It certainly is. It certainly is. This is a impossible pill to swallow. I can tell you that everything, every resource, every law scholar, every common law move, natural law, everything that can be put into this we will never, ever let Dr. Robert Young go. We will never let any part of this die. This has been many months, and there's more people involved than there was. There's 30 people probably full-time, 2 major private investigation teams. We've been fired by 2 private investigation teams because they start looking and it scares them so much what they're finding. And the level of power.
Big pharma.
And they
Big pharma involved.
Better believe it.
American Medical Association involved.
You would have to say the richest places, the ones that have infinite money, are involved. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that money is eventually escaping from them through other means and things that are being done. I hope that's true. But time will tell. And one of Dr. Young's books was Truth versus Deception, Liberty versus Tyranny, COVID-19, Fact versus Fiction. He's always out there telling the truth. And
absolutely.
Telling the truth is a revolutionary act right now. The cabal and the powers, I like to say that are still trying to take anyone down who is really bringing out real truth. And this
Right.
healthcare. We don't have health freedom. There's no health freedom. They take a man like
Yeah.
this away. There is no health freedom. You will get your
Right.
shots and you will take them whether you like it or not.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
no
And
such thing as natural care.
if
Baloney.
if you're a world famous all natural health practitioner like Dr. Robert Young, and you've made your career telling people to eat raw fruits and vegetables and how to think and live, if your lifelong friend who you've been giving advice to, the same advice her whole life, can't come down to you to get help, and then you tell her you need to go see your medical doctor because they go see your medical doctor, you're yellow, your liver's getting worse.
Mhm.
When if you can't say that to a lifelong friend without going to jail for practicing medicine without a license, then I would say freedom of medical choice and freedom of speech, which is supposed to be two of America's most sacred liberties, two of our most basic rights that as kids we knew we were meant to feel lucky. We were born in America. We had inalienable rights that other countries didn't get. Like
Bah
we could
humbug.
say
They lied
anything.
to us.
Right. It was a big old lie, wasn't it? Because now men won't even say the truth. Now we look like a bunch of now we look like Germany in 1942. That's exactly what we look like. We look like the same
Look at
country
what
that they brought 1,600 people over from Operation Paperclip at the end
I
of
was
World
just
War
gonna
II.
go there.
And we are, everybody is acting and thinking and moving exactly like that. They just got a
A
little.
continuation of Nazism, basically.
Yeah, it is. And it's a more technologically advanced form. It works a little bit different the way they censor it. They don't have people showing up on people's doorsteps like they were. They character assassinate and take you out differently. They take you out with lawfare and character assassination. They don't go around poisoning people. They just get rid of you real quiet. Like, look how quiet the Dr. Robert Young case was. You couldn't even see the courtroom, which was courtroom 26. It was the only court case down at Vista, San Diego County. It was the only one that wasn't on the monitors and wasn't in their internet
Isn't that
system.
interesting? They do that to anybody who challenges the system in any
Yep.
way. Because
Yep.
I know I had a friend who knew the logistics of everything and how it works. And when he went, telling the judge, "You're an administrator. You're not really a judge." And I would like to know, where did all the money go that was confiscated when they took his ranch? Where is that? Who got rich on
We're
that?
actually, so I'm not real hopeful that it's as dirty as they let the prosecuting attorney get to make money off of that. We can see how the money's funneled and then it goes into trust, comes back out and moves out. But it's going to be hard. We don't know how easy it is going to be trackable. I would say that in this case, there was also a safe that was professionally broke. See, they had interrogated a doctor named Ben Johnson, rest his soul, and they took him out of the same DA's office. He was a very good man. Not a lot of people know him. And he told them about, he was one of two people that knew about a safe that was there that had extra money in case something big happened or something like that. They professionally broke in. We're talking like 1,000-pound safe, unbolted it from a wall and removed it. And you're talking about $600,000 in cash. You're talking about these people capitalized and monetized everything they could. They sold the ranch for millions of dollars. They stole it out of a trust. By the way, it was in a trust. It was in an irrevocable trust. And the property was not in Robert's name. And they literally said in court, yeah, we just think that's a whole hogwash thing that you were doing to just whatever. But Robert didn't understand law. He didn't understand common law. He had his trust put together by regular bar attorneys, which means that they have a form of interest into it. And and so
They always
He
do.
he
They're some of the
right,
worst professions out there. I think
right,
even sometimes worse than medical because
right.
they both have financial incentives,
Yeah.
which means in
Yes.
healthcare, you're not really getting, you don't really have health freedom, and in the legal system, you really don't have justice.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
If
you
you
can't
you
have it.
know, I'll tell you, Benjamin Rush. He was
Yes,
56
and of his
Declaration of
course,
Independence.
yeah,
Yes, yes, and he was. It was a dire warning, and it's if we don't put in special things about medical freedom of choice, then there will be a specific group of men that will be able to covertly take over this country. That group of men is big pharma. They have done witch hunts for
and
centuries.
then they use lawfare. They use the legal
Yes.
system.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They don't have to hang you anymore. They just make a phone call and set it into motion to get you. So,
Yeah.
it's a scary time, I guess, but for me, I mean, I think like this. I don't know anybody that's gotten out of this lifetime, their life with their physical body, right? I believe we're around, we stay around and all that good stuff, and these bodies come and go. Like, look, guys, um, the most amazing country is falling in front of our eyes.
If it falls,
If
the whole
you
planet
don't
does.
care, yeah, if you don't care, I suggest you get the poisons out of your body that are preventing you from caring. That means you probably need to take MasterPeace, and you probably need to start critically thinking again. You need to get that apathy out of you, and you need to realize that if it's gonna take all of us, and if we want to just give it all up to this silent enemy that is trying to get us from within, we won't have. I don't want to live in a world where I got to watch my kids brutally done in and I can't do anything about it. I'd rather fight now while we got a chance. We got a chance still. It's easier
Yes,
the sooner we start.
I couldn't agree more. Now, are these prosecutors and people in this are they registered as foreign agents? Because they're supposed to be.
I'm not sure. I'm not, but the guys, I would just have to make a phone call to find out. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Mhm.
about. So,
Very, very few of them register, and they're actually supposed to because they're foreign agents and their allegiances to the crown because the crown it's the British Accreditation Registry.
right.
Who do they
Yes.
serve? Who do they serve?
The Queen and
They
King.
exactly.
Yeah.
And people think they serve you. No, you're actually third on the list.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but there's so much about the legal system setup that people are totally and completely unaware of and brainwashed about as well, from all the TV programming and so on and so forth.
And I would like to announce, Gail, if it's okay, we have done Robert. Robert is a smart man, very intelligent man. Smart's not a good word sometimes, but intelligent man. And I would say this: months before this happened, see, they want to get rid of the truth. Correct? They want to take Nikola Tesla's inventions and take it, reverse engineer them, but not let anybody see them. Same thing with Royal Rife. They say, oh, we took his stuff and got rid of it. Yeah, right. You took it
Yeah,
and reverse engineered it. So what they want to be able to do is just get rid of it. But with Robert Young, he is our most published scientist of our time. All that has been kept and preserved. His website is continually backed up. He has everything on there. I suggest to anybody out there, if you love to research, if you're a geek like me, and you want the skinny, you want the truth, because let me tell you, if you go looking in the rabbit holes that they made those rabbit holes so you go down there and what you find isn't the real truth. If you want to learn why your body is magical, why your body is the most technologically advanced biochemical processor in the whole universe, you can learn that by going to dr like doctor dr robertyoung.com. drrobertyoung.com. You'll see a search bar. Search. You want to learn about transhumanism stuff? You want to learn about the real biology? You want to learn about nanocolloidal formulations or anything you can think of? All you do is search it, and you're going to get the provable, scientific, backed, quantifiable, published. When you're talking about real published research, you're talking about you got to have a laundry list of references. You have the scrutiny of your highest level peers and colleagues that are looking at every word you wrote in your paper, and it has to be approved by 3 invisible, blinded peers. And it's the highest level of proof that we have. Now, America's system is hijacked, and a lot of countries are, but not India's. And you can access all this stuff, which is the most amazing knowledge. And to learn the truth, you will be empowered in a way where you won't be controllable, you won't be trickable, and it will serve you and everyone that you care about. And I just think that our world needs that knowledge. They also need to learn that no matter how successful you are, no matter what labels you have, no matter how much money you have, if your health is failing, if your loved one's health is failing, we all know if we knew that person would go from dying to great, we would give up our life's everything for them. So we know that. Think about it. Think about if your mom's dying and you could give her perfect health and all you had to do is give up all your stuff. Who wouldn't do it? Okay, so your health and all your loved ones' health is your wealth. It's your wealth. Having your mind, having your health, it's everything. You need to learn how to alkalize your body. You need to learn the importance of how to effectively depoison your body so that you can be the wealthiest person you know. Everyone around me does and implements the principles that Dr. Robert Young has spoke on at the Dr. Oz show, Oprah Winfrey show, the Early show. He used to be Tony Robbins' keynote speaker for a decade.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. He was his
Oh,
keynote
wow.
speaker for almost a decade. They had a falling out, actually. I'm not going to get into that as a person, but, and, he literally has he has spoken at every major university you can name. He's spoken on every continent. And you're talking about a man whose knowledge the highest level athletes incorporate. If you take the very healthiest, highest performing people in the world, they do the principles that he teaches, the alkalizing principles with the diet. And so depoison your body with Dr. Robert Young's formulation. Everything about the formulation is because he got involved with it. What MasterPeace was before Robert Young got involved with it was a pale comparison in terms of effectiveness. What he brought to the table was for humanity, and he would never even take $1 for it. You know why? He did it all for free. He said, because if I take $1, then they're going to say I did it all for $1. And I want this one to be for humanity, just like everything he's ever done. The most incredible man on the world. You know what? They're not going to break his spirit either, Gail. Just to let you know. He's in jail. I talk to him every day. His spirits are high. He's doing hundreds of push-ups a day. He's doing sit-ups. The man's 73 years old. He's doing 10 pull-ups at a time. You can't break his will. All they're doing, they thought the bear was woke up. All they're doing is they're going to add years to his life in the end. He's going to come out of there better than ever. He's going to come out there. He's already lost it all a long time ago. They're not going to be. He's going to fulfill his destiny, and he's going to keep saving millions of people's lives every day.
He's on a mission to do that.
That's right.
He's not about the money. He's not about the establishment's way of doing things. He does what he knows to be right from the scientific background that he has and the studies that he's done.
That's right.
And it's just it makes my heart sick that he's actually has to sit in a jail cell because of some very small-minded people that obviously are heartless and cruel. Um,
Try to put it lightly.
yeah, it's very disturbing. And that
Sorry.
prosecutor and those prosecutors, those people that were involved in taking him down, they all need to be on a military tribunal, in my opinion.
They need to be arrested. That's the
Yes,
elderly abuse.
yes, yes.
When you sit there, when you spend 3.5 years looking at what you know as an innocent man, and you try to find the one thing out of 10,000 things you can twist just the right way to try to give the illusion of guilt, like, what? Hold on. 2 cases? There wasn't a patient. There wasn't a lineup of patients. Like if this guy was hurting people, right? I mean, every doctor we've ever known hurts people.
Yeah.
I mean,
third leading cause of death.
Right. Is what, medical malpractice?
Yes.
Right. And then you got, so if you're an investigator and you're a prosecuting attorney and you spend 3.5 years looking at an innocent man and twisting it, you don't believe in God, a creator. You don't believe in karma. You don't believe in cause and effect. You believe your actions have no bearing about nothing
No
because,
consequences.
right, you don't believe in consequences because what you've done is sealed your fate. Nothing like this goes away, whether in this life or the next or however it works. This doesn't go away. And these people knew in all ways his products. I'll say, this is not here to cure, treat, diagnose. Every email he sends, it's a disclaimer. Every patient form he ever did was a disclaimer. Everywhere he went was a disclaimer. And he talked against the medical profession, allopathic. He didn't believe in it. He never did. He never seen a doctor. He was very proud about the only time he's seen a doctor is when he was born. I mean, come on.
Can't say I blame him.
Right. That's why it's so healthy. It's so funny. You can imagine trial would really take it out of someone, right? Especially if you're 73, you got to get dressed up. You got to sit there in court all day while they're doing stuff, And for him to literally, like one of the last days of trial, me and him, he sprinted up a hill in Newport Beach, and it was a steep hill. And he sprint up it, and I thought, this 73-year-old man just got out of court. His life, I mean, he don't even know what's going to happen, and he can sprint up a hill and wants to. I'm just like, this guy, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if he's superhuman.
Well, does he have an appeal process that's going?
Yes, absolutely. So right now he still has his bar attorneys, but everybody is getting ready on all levels of equity to come in behind everything. And as soon as we file the appeal and start getting in with the real way he's going to get this taken care of, everybody's ready to spring into motion. There's several different levels. And at this point, I can't get into too specific. I can just tell you, I will say, our highest level law experts, as well as we know the one common law court left open in America happens to be right by the White House.
Really?
We know, trust me, there is a team of over 10 of the highest level law scholars that all have their each individual roles. And we will be ready for whatever happens on sentencing on May 28th. There is some decent people that are at bad agencies that if we're putting together a packet and it will hang and spelled out, it will be, all the work will be done in it. And it will be a way where all we are doing, we're going to say, who wants to be a hero? Who wants to save an American hero? All the hard work's been done. You get to be the guy, who wants to put their sticker on, the badge on, who wants to take this, and we'll, who wants to take down this corrupt California attorney's office, that took down a good guy for no
so
reason. That's right. We're putting it together. There's gonna be someone out there. Hopefully, there'll be 20 of them that want to fight and scrape over who gets to take down this corrupt San Diego's district attorney's office. The hell with them for what they've done here. This is for human beings to just be able to operate like this is very scary. Very scary to allow something like this to just happen.
Evil.
Yes.
It's downright evil.
Yes.
And I thought that the way through some executive orders and the way things have been going, that the this admiralty law thing is supposed to be done. We're supposed to have common law. Apparently,
yeah, I know they're trying to move us back to the republic, and the reason why a lot of these courts laugh and scoff at the common law approach, it works on low level. Yeah, it works on low level speeding tickets, different things, because you start making them do work, and they're like, yeah, we got 1,000 of these, let this freaker go. But when it comes to big weaponized cases,
yeah.
Right. Well, no, you got to see it through, though. They will bluff you to the end, and then one day you'll walk in there and they'll say, we're done. It's so, and we can talk afterwards on that. Totally. What they do in these weaponized and politicized cases is completely different. And, they're catching pressure from the top down, and it's, so there's a little bit more into it, but we do have the people who have the experience in these cases, and they've had success, big success. And, we are going to exhaust every option that does no harm, So these people need to be held accountable for the criminal charges that they've done here. They've committed collusive, conspiratorial crimes, thinking they're above the law, thinking they are the law, and they are, but yes, and they need to be brought. They need to be taken out. They need to be taken out. They need to at least answer. They need to answer for what they've done. It's terrible.
I couldn't agree more. And is there any way that the listening audience, is there anything that they can do to help?
They certainly can. We have let's give a Give, Send, Go. If anybody is familiar with Mickey Willis is a very famous documentarian. He did the Plandemic, which got over 1 billion views.
Now I know who that is. Yeah,
he's one of the highest caliber guy. He's an incredible guy. We need to raise money for his documentary. He is doing it at the lowest cost he can, but he does a very high level thing that gets very, we're talking about a guaranteed documentary that will get 150 million people watching and getting that level of exposure. Mm-hmm. Evil likes to do evil behind closed doors. When they're really doing their dirt, they don't rape kids out in the open. Okay. Exactly. So when they're really taking someone out, they like to keep it quiet. Well, we want to do the opposite of that. We want this loud. Exactly. So we need Mickey Willis. We need a donation. If everybody out there, look, you want to make a difference, you want to help, why don't you help the kindest, greatest man of our time? I mean, most people that meet him feels that way. Why not help him, right? And so if you got anything, you got $10 or more, who cares? We need to raise 150,000. We've only gotten to about 15,000. Now we had a couple of changes that we need to make on it, but let's get you that Give, Send, Go link, and whatever anybody can contribute is going to go dollar for dollar towards that awareness, towards that documentary. And that will really help what we're doing. We also have some major news outlets, not mainstream, but former mainstream people, become podcasters. They are building their case right now, and so they're actually, they got an interesting system, and they are getting ready to interview him, and that will really interview. I'm saying they're about to interview Robert Young in jail.
Oh, they'll let him do that?
He can do a 30-minute call where you can kind of do an interview. Yeah, it's a real pain in the butt. They make it. It's a very wonky, terrible system. They make it difficult on everybody for a reason. And Robert only gets 2 video calls a week, so we have to keep those for high level, most impactful things kind of deal,
Yeah, I keep
And
telling Elon Musk to to Doge, the Department of Corrections.
yeah,
Do you know how
yeah.
many Americans get incarcerated? It's shameful, and it's
No,
because of
that
the
doesn't
system.
happen. We're in the land of the free. You act
Yeah,
like
right.
you act like we lock up. You act like we lock up more people per capita than any country in our recorded history.
And we do.
I know. I know, right? But we're the
Yeah,
land of the free. That's not true. We're the land of the free.
yeah. And no victim, no crime. No, that's not true either. We got
Right,
so many
right,
people in there. I mean, we don't have a
right,
legal we do
right.
not
I
have
will
a
say,
legal
yeah,
justice
we have
system.
the prison medical industrial. I'll just say in federal prisons, when the inmates go to the canteen or the commissary, they have to, whatever that prison has for a list of stuff. It's not a very big list. It's not like
And
going to a
it's
grocery
very
store.
limited, and it's
And
pretty
it's
shitty.
all Keefe, which is Keefe. You know who owns Keefe? The Bushes. That's not real good, is it? Well,
Oh,
isn't that sick? That's sick, isn't it? Here,
yeah,
look
that's
that up,
real sick.
everybody. Keefe,
That's just like
Keefe.
that's just like I remember in Arizona, in Phoenix, in the county jails and all that. And I'm sorry, but Joe Pio, he's not in much anymore. But his brothers owned the commissaries. It's a big club, and we're not in it.
That's
Um,
right. George
and
Carlin.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a big club, and we're definitely not in it.
yeah,
And it's a pay to play system, and it's terrible. And we can see these same people were the ones that it's not a very big group of people, and they're the same ones that are involved in the 9/11, the Oklahoma City, the Waco. They're the same ones doing all these acts against America in order to do false flag, whatever it is, problem reaction solution training. It's it needs to stop before we lose our country. So
yeah, and all this that they've given to illegal aliens too, and turning away real Americans. It's just unforgivable in my book. It's all got to stop.
absolutely. Absolutely. I would just really plead with everybody. We do need to raise money for the Mickey Willis documentary, and we'll provide that Give Sing Go. We'll maybe even provide the email link that everybody can see the video that Mickey Willis made for Dr. Robert Young. Minute and a
Oh,
half long video. It's a beautiful video that Mickey did for us, and then the long email, and then it'll have the Give Sing Go on there. And if anybody, look, it'll be the right thing to do. If you do one good thing this year, that would be the right thing to do.
will
So
you be able to send that link to me or that
I sure
email or
will.
whatever, and
I
I'll
sure
put
will.
it in the
I'm gonna put.
description?
Yep. I sure will. I sure
It'll
will.
take me
I
a
sure
little
will.
bit of
Absolutely.
time to do that. I'll get that on there probably tomorrow.
Okay.
And as soon as you get it to me, and I'll put it in the description, or maybe tonight if I get a chance.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
is there anything else
Nope.
that we
Nope.
should?
We're perfect. I'm perfect. Thank you so much. Gail, I love showing up with you because you have been for the truth for a long time, and you've gotten your finger on the pulse on it pretty good. So thank you for doing this for Robert Young. You seeked me out. I didn't have to seek you out on it, and I really appreciate that you are supporting this man. He's spent his
Oh my
whole
God,
life
I didn't
supporting us.
know. Yeah, I didn't know he was actually in jail. I would have been with you sooner. But like you said, they try to do it all quiet so people don't hear
That's right.
about it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm glad I heard
Awesome.
about it, and
Well, you're
we're
helping.
going to do something about it.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you for explaining everything, and send my love to Dr. Robert Young, and
I will.
hopefully we all can help him get out of that mess.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Gail.
Good will prevail. Truth
That's
will
right.
prevail.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and truth wins. We just got to
Right.
put the two together and not stop.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right.
Miracles
Thank you.
happen. Miracles are normal. And I've been around, and I've been on the receiving end. I've seen miracles my whole life. Miracles are created. You have to put in the work for a miracle to happen, and that everybody has their part. And if your part is to donate, that is a big part. That's a part too, and we're going to save this man and save our country. So
Yes. Thank you so much, Matthew, and I'll be in touch. Send me
awesome.
that link. Okay.
I will.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny